Hi, this is Tamika with Patience Pumps and Pie, and I'm here to set up my 2026 planners. I moved my lighting, and I'm hoping that it's helping. Hopefully, we shall see when I edit, but it looks like it's better. But I think I might have changed some settings on my camera anyways, and I need to figure out what I did, but anyways, so I have my 2026 Catchall planner here, which is the special edition Peanuts Undated Vertical Classic Size planner that was in the Peanuts Be Happy box. And then I have my combined content planning and fitness tracking planner here, which is an Archer and Olive 8x8 bullet journal. So there's more setup for this than here. I need to decide what I'm going to do about a cover. One thing that I talked about in my planner lineup video was possibly getting the frosted covers or either the clear covers and going with that. So we shall see. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I need to do something, or I need to get some pouches, or I don't know. I have some Planners Anonymous classic size planner covers. I've been using the sunflower one for work. Then I have a Christmas one, and then I have a animal print one, and I really don't want to use any of those with this. So I might either purchase something else from Live Love Posh. And I wasn't thinking because I hadn't made up my mind. I just made a purchase from Live Love Posh, but I wasn't thinking because at that time I hadn't made up my mind yet what I was going to use for my Catchall planner. So I might go back and purchase the covers that I just purchased for my work planner, which is also classic size, and purchase a different color to go with this, maybe black. I just don't want anything rubbing off on this. That's what I'm afraid of. I don't know if the planner cover I'm thinking of comes in white, but if so, then I'll probably just go with white. But anyway, so here are the tabs for the dividers, and I guess we will just start there with the dividers. So it has a clear one to go on this darker side, and then there is a darker print to go on the other side. Okay, but yeah, there's not much else I need to do in terms of setup for this planner, so I'm not worried too much about it. I just need to get another cover because the one that, well, I don't have one. I'm about to say the one that I have isn't going to work. I don't have one. I'm thinking of my large one. So if you have not watched my planner lineup video, then you wouldn't know necessarily that I was using a Big Happy planner for years now, the Big Vertical, and they didn't have anything that I wanted for this coming year, and so I decided to just use this planner because I already had it from the Be Happy box, but that means I have to downsize back to classic size, which is going to be a challenge for me. I have been loving all of the extra space in a big to decorate and be functional at the same time. And I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss that a whole lot. So, and although there are so many small shops that offer inserts and things like that, most of them don't offer inserts for the big. One shop does. What is this on my page already? But I just, by the time I paid for 2 6-month packages, I could have purchased a planner with all the things in it. So I didn't bother. Then I know there are other shops like, what is it? Plum Paper, I think it is one of those that's very, very customizable, but I didn't like any of the layouts. So didn't go with that. So it was just very challenging not being able to find what you're looking for. Did I skip a month? Because I feel like I did. July. Yep, I did. It's like, wait a minute. Okay, so this is August. Okay. So I'm going to do the August because this is a white tab. And do, well, either way, it's going to be one side is going to, it's not going to show well. Well, I'd rather it be the back side not show well than the front side. So, okay. Then we've got September. So yeah, that's where I was at with everything. I could not find any big size planners, couldn't find inserts. A lot of people don't cater to the big size. They cater to the classic. And that's a bummer. Live Love Posh had one layout that was in the big, but it was like a monthly layout. And that's not what I'm looking for. So I did not go with it. I was hoping and praying that something would come up from one of the small shops or something would come up in this last Happy Planner release. But nope, so we're going back to classic size. So for the sake of timing, I will add the rest of these later. All right, so I'm going to add in some pages from my work inserts. I'm going to add in some sticky notes because there's really, like I said, not much else that I want to add in. So let's add in the sticky notes. These are some Erin Condren sticky notes that I've had for a while, and I punched them myself and added them in there, and I'll add my name on here in a sec. All right. Where do we want to put these extra pages? I guess we'll put them right in here. So let me open this up. There are several pages in these inserts that just don't apply to work for me. And so I thought I would add them into so yeah, let me add in these vision board, pixels. Okay, add in all this. And this is all I really need for work. I don't need all those extra pages. So we're going to set this aside. And let's add these pages in here. It's a weird space to add them because here's the currently page. But or I could decide to put them in front of the name page. Let's put them in front of the name page because this is just a little awkward for me. So we'll just add them in here. Okay, and then we have the name page. And let me get. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and add our name. Okay. And I love to add a little heart on the end of my name. I love doing that. Just gonna color it in. I gave a coworker a card. She just graduated with her master's. And when I tell you that was the best hand lettering I've ever done, was the way I wrote her name on the outside of that card. It was stunning. All right, oh, that didn't even bleed through too much. Nice. Okay, so let's add that in here. And I think that's all that I can really do with this. Oh, there's one other thing. So I'm repurposing these clear dividers from my big planner. So I've already cut these 3 down. Okay, so I'm gonna add this one here. It says plans, and I'm gonna add it here where it says 2026 plans. Then we're going to do the monthly here, first month of January. And then we're gonna do here for the first week. Now, the only tab divider that I had left was this one for the notes. Now, notice the notes is way over here to the right. So what I'm gonna have to do in order to size this is cut off the punch side and then cut off the bottom, and then I'm gonna have to re-punch it. Okay, let me get my paper trimmer. And I'm trying to remember how much I cut off. I think I cut off 1.5 from the width. And like I said, I'm going to have to re-punch it. And then I did 1 3/4 from the bottom. And that should line up the way that I need it. Let me test it, and I have, like I said, I'm gonna have to re-punch it. So let's see if that works. Okay. It works. I just need to re-punch it. And I have not used my Happy Planner punch in a million years. So we're gonna pray that it doesn't break on me. We'll pray for that. Because if you know, you know. So, going to put it here for, and then this is a big one. So I'm going to put it here. I think the classic size one I had is the one that broke on me. Okay. Ooh, nice. Punch nicely. Hallelujah. All right. So now let's go to the very back. You always have one little note page in the back, but I'm going to add some additional note pages back here. Okay, so I have this notebook I got from Catchall Plan a while back. So I'm going to put, let's say 5 of each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the dot grid and 5 of the lined. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the lined. Okay. So we'll add these pages in. I figured I might as well, because I'm not using the pages, so I might as well add them in here and try to get some use out of them. Okay, and that is the setup for our classic planner, because like I said, there wasn't much to that. So when we open that up here, we've got some sticky notes. We've got the pages that I pulled from my other inserts that I'll be using for work. So plans, which I thought was a perfect place to put that. That's where I had it in my big planner last year. I'm going to try my best to make use of this perpetual calendar this year. Then there's a vision board. There's the word of the year with a bucket list and some goals. Year in pixels. Not quite sure what I'm going to use this for. I don't know. Give me some ideas in the comments if you've used this and what you use it for. When did I last? So I want to look at things like oil changes, tire changes, brake changes, changing filters and things like that. Annual bill tracker. And then I want to try and use this too and write in the books that I read this year. And then we had a couple of note pages. There's my name page. And then we go from there. So we have our monthly, weekly sections, and then we have the note sections in the back. So that's all there is to the setup for my classic catch-all planner. The next thing that I need to come in and do is date the month of January, which I'll do that another time. I won't do that on camera. All right, moving on to our combined content / fitness planner. So there's a lot more setup involved here because it is a bullet journal. All right, let's go ahead and start with the name. I'm going to erase. And you might say, well, that's weird, but I write it as a guide and then I erase it so that, because it's hard to erase once you've, it's hard to erase once you've gone ahead and put the marker over it. So that's why I do that. And I'm used to hand lettering with the short tip marker, like the one I used earlier. I'm not used to doing it with a full brush pen like this one. So we will see what it do. Okay, I think that came out pretty nice. It's definitely wasn't the way I had originally written it out because this is so much bigger and thicker. But yeah, so I'm going to give that time to dry and then I'll come back and do a little bit more erasing. But there's my name. I'm going to take also do a few little some little stars there in the gold pen. So there is my name in my planner. All right, moving forward, these pages right here, they're awkward pages that don't really open flat. So what I tend to do is glue these pages together. So I'm going to put some adhesive down. All right, that's done. So we've glued those awkward pages together, and I do have sticky notes just to kind of help guide me. So this left page is going to be like a quote page, and this is going to be my 2026 page. I have decided to use one of the most recent sticker books from Live Love Posh, which is the Petals and Pages. It's very pretty, and I love the junk journal style of it. So we're going to be using this, okay? And I'm trying to remember what I was going to put down for my quote, but I don't remember. But I know I wrote down another quote for another page. Okay, so I think I know what I'm going to do. All right, so I'm going to start with these florals because they're just really pretty. And we will figure out our quote situation in a minute. I'm going to start with this piece. And we're going to put this along the bottom here. We're going to trim it right at the edge here. Okay. Now I'm sure I probably cut pretty deep, which it's either deep or not deep enough. That's usually what I do. And it looks like I might have did pretty good there. I'm actually impressed with myself with that one. All right, I'm going to take this scrap and put it back in here because I might be able to use it. I don't know how it would go. I think it goes here. Okay. And let's see. Take this piece. And we'll put that there. So now I've got to come up with a quote. So I thought I had already decided on a quote. But guys, apparently I hadn't. So I have these two quote books from Amber Plans Her Day. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to use this one somewhere else. So I'm thinking about this one. I can do hard things. That way I just know, since this is content planning and fitness, sometimes this can be a hard thing to deal with, especially when things aren't quite going the way that you want them to go. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's see what else we got in here that we can use. Okay, and we're going to put this smack dab in the middle here. And we're going to burnish that down. All right, now we can add in some more of these pieces. I like that they have these little pieces of leaves in the line sketches to contrast the realistic florals. That is very pretty. Let's gather some of these clusters and add them in. And then I'm going to add in some of the green leaves that are in here as well. And that's going to be our quote page. All right, so over here is going to be our 2026 page. So I took this piece of paper. This is tea-dyed paper from one of my planner friends, and I thought about like putting that in the middle here, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that down. So let me know, like, what theme are y'all going with? I don't really have a theme per se. It's just I wanted to use these stickers. Because I haven't used this book. Like, I've had it for a minute here, and I haven't used it. So that was one of the main factors, is that I wanted to give it a go. I'm going to take this piece, put it down there. Ooh. Take this piece and put it here. All right, so what I'm gonna also add in here, okay, is some balloon stickers. Some this is the Live Love Posh Party book. And there are some of those balloon stickers in here. I saw them. Where are they? I know they're in here because that's the only reason I had this book pulled aside. Maybe I'm just flipping past them too quickly. That's the only reason I have this book out. Guess I'm just going past them somehow. I don't know. Oh, there they are, way up here. Okay. So 2026 is what I need. Let me get some tweezers. So some of this stuff I'm gonna fast forward, some of it I will not. I don't really like fast forwarding and editing, because then I gotta put music to it and all that stuff. But I understand why it's necessary, because sometimes it goes on a while, you know? Like, especially when I'm just doing grid lines and stuff like that, I don't feel that there's a need to have y'all sit through all of that. So we're going to do this. And thank God for the duplicate pages, because even if I needed them, I would have had them here. So that's nice. Okay, so let's burnish that down. Okay, that looks really good. Let's see. All right, and again, I'm just gonna go ahead and add in some of the accents with the gold pen. All right, so that is my opening pages of my journal. All right, you're going to give that a minute to dry, and then we will get started on the next pages. All right, going over to the next page. So I'm going to start setting up things for my content planning side. So we will have a goal section here, and then a quote. I didn't really map this part out, so I'm just gonna go with it. I'm gonna be using a Pigma Micron 05. So I just got this idea of slanting my goal section. I don't know why, but that just came to my head, so I'm gonna do it. You're probably thinking, girl, are you crazy? I promise I'm not crazy. Oh, but these slanted lines are making my head spin. Okay. Oh, crap. Y'all know I'm not good with straight lines. Y'all see, I already messed that up. Already messed that up. Like, girl, seriously? Yes, seriously. Yes, I already messed it up. Sure did. I'm gonna just white it out here. Okay, because I can't find my white pen either. All right. I don't know why that came to my head. It just said, do it, right? It said, do it. Okay? Said, do it. But this is like the one page I just realized I hadn't mapped out. Oh, well. So, let's pull. And pull this piece and put it in the corner here. And then take this piece and we're going to put it up in this corner. All right. And then my quote's going to go here. So let me pull my quote. So I wanted to choose this one because in terms of content creating, things did not go the way I wanted them to this year with my YouTube channel. And so I'm just trying to motivate myself to do this for another year. And hopefully I will see the rewards of it this time around. Okay, I'm going to burnish that down. And because that's a clear sticker, I'm able to overlap that. But yeah, so I definitely want to write out some goals for the year. I'm not big on making goals. Like, it's just not a thing for me. It's not a big thing for me at all. But I'm going to go ahead and write some out. And hopefully we can stick to them. Now, where's my scissors? That is a very, very good question. Okay, here they are. Okay, I'm going to trim this side. And we'll put this right here. Okay. And trim here as well. And I'm just going to add in one of these leaves so that I could have some of that line sketching down in this area here. And then add this piece there. Okay, so this part is going to be goals. So I think there are letters in here, if I'm not mistaken. There's plans. Too bad one doesn't say goals. That would have been nice. Should I just use the one that says plans? Plans and goals can be the same, yes. I wanted to say goals. Ooh, let's do these letters. Okay. So G-O. A. So I'm going to do it along here. Ooh, that's too far over there. I'm going to have to move this one then, because if I pick that one up, it's going to pull up the white out there. Okay, and let me see if I can't find a box sticker to put in this section, and then I can write my goals on that. Let's pull this one. Ooh, that's going down crooked. We don't want it crooked. We want it straight. Okay, so there's that. And then we can add a few more decorative pieces in there. All right, so there is our goals page, and we'll write our goals out on here. And this side over here is going to get a quote, and it's going to be what we're going to focus on, and that would have been nice to have focus as well, but that's not one of these. All right, so we're going to go with that same lettering. I don't know why I didn't map out these pages, but I mapped out so many of the other ones. So that's just really strange that I did that. Not sure why I did that. But when it comes to filming in a bullet journal, it's best to have as much stuff laid out as possible, because oh my gosh, they can get to be very time consuming, and you really don't want that happening. So I'm going to take this washi and we're going to lay it across here. Okay. So for the focus, we're just going to do this big sheet here, kind of center it. All right, it's looking good. I just want to put some of these little pieces down. I think I want to put a floral piece as well. So let's do this piece. All right, and that's going to be the end of this setup. I think next it just goes into my fitness roadmap. Okay, so there's the end of those pages. So now is where I'm probably going to fast forward, you guys. I'm going to have a fitness roadmap to healthy, which I have done something similar before in a bullet journal. So I'm going to fast forward this part of me doing the lines. I might even take it out. I don't know, just for the sake of time. So where is my pink? Okay, so there's my Pigma Micron, because I want to do some stamping in here too. I thought about doing stamping, and I'm thinking against it right now. I think I might just go with some stickers instead, because the stamping it's very messy, and I'm not really prepared for that right now. So go ahead and sit back and enjoy a little music or a little magic as I do my lines. All right, so I got all of that done. So the way this is going to work is this is where I'm going to start here. So I'm going to write the word start. And I'm just going to write in the numbers. I'm just going to write them in. I'm not going to bother trying to even do stickers. So I'm sharing this with y'all, so y'all better not be judging me. I don't feel like I weigh this much, but that's what the scale says. And I am kind of tall for a female. I'm 5'8". So that does factor in. So keep that in mind. I think I carry the weight well. I don't feel like I think part of it was when I started working out with my brother, I started gaining muscle as I was losing fat. And so I just didn't feel like there was a lot of change in my weight. So, but I had to stop working out for a while because I started having these bad muscle spasms in my back. Don't know why. Don't know why at all, but I did. But I like to get back down to 150. I think if I got any lower than that, I would look sick. So if you know me, and if you know me for years, you know I used to be super, 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 super thin. So thin to the point where I was heavily accused of being anorexic. Sorry, y'all, took me a little drink. So yeah, there was that. I got accused of that as a teen. When people from high school see me, they're like, wow, you know, because I finally put on weight. And I never got over 100 pounds in high school. I tried. That was a goal. I only got up to 98 pounds. It's 98 pounds when I graduated. That's as far as I got. I'm going to let this dry. And then I'll come back and erase. I think I smeared right there. All right, so I pulled these little arrows that I had from some Amber Planter Day books, and I thought these would be fun to use. Of course, if we can get them off the page. You know how that goes. Okay, so looks like we're gonna have to use some tweezers here. So we'll put that one there. Sometimes you don't know how they're going to look until you pull them off the page. Okay, so we can do this one here. Put that one there. And let's do kind of a straight arrow. For here. Okay, and then let's do this one. That's there. That one there, and let's get a fun little loop-de-loop for the last one. Okay, that worked out really nicely. Those are fun. Okay, so I had not mapped this out either, but I'm going to put roadmap to healthy. All right, so let's pray that I do this well. So roadmap to roadmap to healthy is what we'll call it. All right, that looks good. So now we just need to decorate it. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. Let's get some corner pieces and brighten. Oops, that's crooked. Brighten this page up. Okay. All right. I don't know why I pulled that one. This is a corner piece as well. Didn't really want to pull a corner piece. Take this little scrap and put that there. And I'm going to trim this. And I'm going to put this one in the crease here. We'll put those there. Let's see. I have to sneeze. Excuse me. Oh, goodness. All right. So we're just going to go ahead and put some little sparkles around. All right, and that's going to be our setup, y'all. That's our setup for our combined planner here. Yeah, because that goes into the monthly. All right, so let's go back and see what we got. So we put my name there. We glued these two pages together, those awkward page at the beginning. We have our quote page. I can do hard things. I can do the weight loss. I can go through another year and stick it out and try and get to where I want to get with my channel. And there's the year page here, 2026. All right, then we have our goals page, which I will write my goals here. Our focus page. And this focus page is mainly for what I want to focus on for the content planning. All right, then we have our roadmap to healthy. You know what I want to do? I want to put shadows on these boxes. That'll just make it a little bit more exciting on the page, I think. And I did still need to go back and do some erasing, but I don't know that I'm going to worry about it now. All right, so, and there's our roadmap to healthy. So I used a Pigma Micron, and I use this one from Tombow 772, and then of course this Tombow Furinosuke. I didn't use any others yet. I do have some other colors pulled aside that I thought I would have used, but I didn't end up using any of those. So, you know what, matter of fact, let's see. Yeah, just so we can add in some more color and things. I guess that's all. That should do it. All right, guys, comment below. Let me know what you think. Have you gotten all of your planners set up? If you start January 1st without everything put together, that is okay. It's yours. You can work at your pace to get it done. I just know me. I'm a procrastinator / perfectionist. So if I don't start ahead of time, it won't get done. But yeah, these are my pages. And then come back at the beginning of the year and I will set this up for the month. Again, the way this is going to work is I will only do monthly videos for content planning and fitness planning. And then once a quarter, I'll do a reflection video for fitness. If I see that there's enough interest, maybe I'll increase how often I do those videos. But right now, I don't feel like the need is there. And so all I'm going to do for content planning is a calendar page. And then on the other side, I'm going to break some things down as far as stats and goals and things like that. And then for fitness, just tracking my food and some other things like mood, water intake, movement, things of that nature. All right. So comment below. Let me know what you think. That's all I had with this one. And then, of course, I have my Catchall planner. And we didn't need to do much setup with this, but I need to purchase a cover so that I could do that. And again, I repurposed all of those clear divider tabs. Repurposed your things. All I had to do was cut it down to size and I was good to go. All right, that's all I have for you. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, guys, don't forget to slay, subscribe, like, and accept the alerts so you don't miss any videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.